All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Just thought I would sit down, do a video for you guys. The tornado situation has abated. You guys saw me put up some GBP anyways. Power came up maybe 9 a.m. approximately. I don't remember now at this point, maybe 8:30, who knows. Power finally came back up. A lot of my haters would be like, I'm really disappointed that the tornado didn't suck you up, right? They be hating. They be hating. You know they hating. So, but yeah, I did a little quick short this morning, just kind of showing no power in my house. Alexa wasn't working. That was the most exciting part. Yeah, I couldn't get any work done, but man, I didn't have any music in the kitchen. You know, I didn't have any music in the kitchen, and that's a travesty, right? Supposed to be in there, and you tell Alexa what song to play, and she plays it. Right? We didn't have any of that. That was a problem. So let's get this super chat goal started. But I'll be looking thick. Coach is looking thick as peanut butter. Right? I'm looking thick as peanut butter in that GPP work. So let's see if we get anybody in here midday. These have been a little slower in the middle of the day. I figure this might go a little better since I'm not doing as many other normal videos. I'm going to focus on live streams and shorts. Here's the thing, man. I've noticed people don't care about client blogs like they used to. You know, if client blogs were a thing back in the day, Mikey, Emma, everyone liked them. These days, people just aren't that interested. You guys noticed that? Oh, well. But they like live streams more. But the lives really are the best thing, it seems like, these days for this channel. All right, people like lives. Because then you don't have to put editing and you just get in and talk to people, but then you engage your audience. Here's the thing too, you guys hit like as soon as you get in. Well, people let me know in comments or other stuff later, or my comments not showing. So when these things replay, I have the box checked every single time for all the live chats to show after the fact. I have all the settings set. But when I go look at my own videos, none of these comments that people are leaving are showing. None of them, ever. Is that happening on everyone else's end? Or is that just on my end? Right? Because I have everything set to where it is supposed to show them. So I'm a little confused as far as it not doing it. So I'm going to check one again right now. It definitely doesn't on my phone, but I'm going to see on the desktop real quick. I'm going to look at the big one from yesterday. Are they in here? Yeah, see, I don't see any of them. So it's just a blank screen on the right. It's just me talking. So what's up with that? Like, why is it doing that? I have the box checked to show everything. So I don't know what the problem is, guys. Anybody? Any clues? All right. So, again, I've noticed also people are saying these are not hitting their feed now. It's probably because I put too much informative, but I'm going to chill with those. I don't think shorts use up the feed. Bag puss is up there, man. I got paid. Someone dropped a super chat if I'd bring him back out. So I went and got him out of storage, brought him out, and I've left him up there, right? We got the Spartan helmet up there too. All right. A little bit of the old school. That's why I've been trolling more, covering more current events type stuff in the world. More trolling my Facebook. I've been trolling a lot more. I'm not going to lie. And that's helping. I'm trolling vegans. I troll carnivores. Man, it's funny how the carnivores are the weirdest ones too. Like the vegan hate, when you troll on vegans, it gets a lot of outreach. The carnivore ones, it's just so fascinating how insane they are. Strong, you got to hit the like button, by the way, bro. It's just insane how they are. They actually think that the lipid hypothesis isn't real. Like you'll put some stuff about that, right? And they'll be like, well, correlation doesn't equal cause. It's like, have you not looked at the data yourself? You got to look at them and go, have you not looked at it? This is not, and they'll say stupid stuff like, it's like we have causation. Like it's been determined that elevated LDL-C is the primary causation of atherosclerosis. It's not even debated. People say, well, you need debate. Well, yeah, the problem is the other side can't produce any evidence. And every time they try to, it comes back worse. Like some of the strongest cases we've seen of researchers who don't believe in it or believe there's exceptions, when they research it and they get the funding for it, it comes back showing that they're wrong. Like their biased research still comes back wrong. Every single time the data comes back around and shows, yeah, high LDL equals more plaque accumulation. Doesn't even matter how healthy the people are. Like all these other stuff has been debunked where they're like, no, we believe that if someone's metabolically healthy and they're on lower carbohydrates and blah, 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 right? And they'll get funding for the study to try to prove it. And then it turns out they're wrong. Lean athletic people with elevated LDL, even in ketosis, accumulate atherosclerosis at a much faster rate. This is what the studies show that are biased towards that fact and are biased against the lipid hypothesis. So it's like there's no evidence. You know, some people say, well, then they'll say stupid stuff. Well, you got to question science, right? Right? But you have to question data with data. So if 17 major studies around the world all reach the same conclusion, questioning it means you have to produce evidence against it. Or you have to find flaws in their methodology and then propose evidence to the contrary. You can't be, well, because I believe in it. Well, because did you know, like the crazy ass people on that end of the spectrum, their arguments as to why the lipid hypothesis is false is never, hey, we have data showing it's false. They'll come up with some story about seed oil. It's like, okay, well, what does that have to do with any of this? Like, what relevance does seed oil have to do with the entire topic at all? Let's assume that you're right. Like, let's assume that you're right. Okay, that still doesn't debunk anything. Let's assume that you prove that seed oil is literally the most poisonous thing known to man. Like it just kills you instantly. It's like absolutely the deadliest thing you could possibly eat. It still doesn't debunk all the data on LDL and atherosclerosis. Right? It's just crazy. Strong says, what's the highest rep range on deadlifts you could be effective without being out of breath coming the limiting factor? I find anything. I don't know. Because it's going to depend on the strength and conditioning level of the lifter. The beauty of deadlifts, though, very low volumes of deadlifts go a long way. I mean, I've done 11 reps with 500 before, but I don't think it counts. I say that and people are like, it counts. I'm like, it doesn't count because I can't replicate it on a different plate setup. I wouldn't have been able to. Because remember, I used the thicker training plates on a deadlift bar. That doesn't really count, right? But you know, the thing is, Strong, I'm not sure. I think it's going to depend on the person. But if a person, I've done like 12s, I've done like 11, 12 rep sets before on deadlifts that felt really good. They burned like hell. Like I felt like they had a hypertrophic response. I've done like 12s and stuff with like 425. You know, but the thing is, I suppose that's going to depend on how conditioned you are, how much GPP you're doing, really, right? Coach back on lives, we got electricity back. Had to rearrange fridge. I got worried. I took all my dairy because I just got a bunch of Fairlife and Greek yogurt again, and I moved it all in the deep freeze and took it back out. That's right. Well, tornado can keep you down for long. Fortunately, they got everything back up quick. They were saying it might not be till noon. They got it a few hours sooner. A little bit of a mess out there. High winds, but it's like there's no damage. Like it doesn't look like anyone's fences or houses. It's just trees. Blew some trees around because the tornado didn't hit the neighborhood. It's just the winds. But yeah, but I kind of showed you guys the power out. I need to continue to joke with this whole Section 8 housing thing, man. Like, it's almost comical. Like, this dude is these people are so insistent. And it's like, I literally couldn't get it if I wanted. Like, let me be clear. Like, shoot, if the government wanted to give me free housing vouchers or free money, I'll take it in a heartbeat. We should rob the IRS blind. Like, we need to get every penny back we've ever paid in taxes. But I don't qualify. Like they won't give me anything. So it's asinine for someone to think that I qualify. That's the crazy part. Like what criteria? Are they claiming I just don't want to work? I live in Texas, dude. They won't give you anything. If you just say, I don't want to work, I have no children. I am a white male with no children. Where I live, if I just say I don't want to work, the state will say enjoy living under a bridge. You know, hey, Strong, what are you talking about? I have a job. I literally own a business. I don't qualify for any of those things. Like, I don't qualify. I hope he's not directing that at me because I thought it was a real strong myself. Like, I literally don't qualify for any of them. I can't get them. No, you're talking about others. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, Strong, you got to think about where different people are. So who gets this stuff? So I think what you mean is quit having anchor babies. Quit having 3 baby daddies who don't pay child support. Like, who gets this stuff? Right. But no, specifically, people with children. Broke people with children are who gets it. And where I live, right? I mean, these are conversations we got to be having. How about not be cranking out children you can't afford? I don't know. Quit letting losers nut in you when you're ovulating. Right? Birds get at me. You know, so I mean, here's your solution. If we've got an issue with all of that, here's the answer. Stop letting losers nut inside you when you're ovulating. Right? I mean, women are only fertile like 1 week per month. Okay, maybe during that week, don't let losers nut inside of you. Done. Because that's who gets all these benefits. Coach, did you say you got more compliments from women? Women usually like a beard, yeah. So Texas receives more from the federal government relative to what its residents pay. Do you sure? I don't think that it does, Vanilla. Not compared to some other places. All right. I know they rob me blind and I don't get anything. I don't get anything and they rob me blind. Like, dude, the IRS is my biggest stress in life. Like, straight up. This is why I kind of laugh at this other nonsense. My biggest stress in life is the Internal Revenue Service in the U.S. That's my number one stressor. 60-70% of my life stress would be gone if they just abolished it right now. Just shut it down permanently. No, I haven't played the piano since I was a kid. What's up, Nathan? Yeah, I think I like having a little bit of a beard. I took piano lessons as a kid for a little while, but working like crazy. So yeah, I mean, so in my case, I mean, people can hate, but I literally work 80 hours a week with all my business. Like, this is work, guys. This is work. I'm chatting with my fans, but this is monetized. This gives super chats. It gives ad revenue, outreach. I close clients. I close consultations in these. Like, this is business. Like, I don't have a whole lot of me time. Everything is grow my business all the time. And I get taxed like crazy. Like, they break me on that. So exactly. And that is the issue. Even when I got sick, people were hating on the fact that I legitimately did it sometime. I did get disability when I was legitimately sick and disabled. But I worked a 60-hour work week up until the day I got bedridden. I worked 5 12-hour shifts every week. Like, I had a 60-hour work week, you know. So hate on me all you want. Like, I put in overtime. I never had a 40-hour work week. Like, the final 3 years before I got sick, I never once had a only 40-hour week. Um, I probably could pull off Conan, but I don't have any other costume stuff. I don't know that I want to do anything. I've got my Spartan costume, remember though? Thanks, Paul. Oh yeah, client Paul. Paul, it's a lot of complexity. I don't want to discuss it all in public, but it's cray cray. So if I could chat with you in a private call though, and we just broke sometimes, you know. Yeah, because Paul is a CFO actually. Uh, yeah, you get taxed. I got you. Go nice. I don't go pick up women at parties, and right. So because I quit drinking, I actually haven't picked up any women out at parties. Have I been to get-togethers from some of my same circle? Yeah. In fact, I gave an apology because one of the friends who, like, where I went for New Year, like, I've really misbehaved in her house in the past. And I gave her a personal apology for the way I used to act when I was drunk. But her and her husband are going through we're like a month sober also by then. Is EQ a good replacement for Primo's far? I don't do a lot of gear talk questions in here these days, but it's going to depend on the person. Strong. Not everyone gets any form of aromatase reduction from EQ. I think it's very hit or miss. 2,000 push-ups a day. What's up, Lars? What's up, Pepper? Everybody get some regulars in here. Yeah. Jason, I will never understand how you get so much engagement in your life. I know I can't get the people to hit the like, Vino. I don't know why. Coach, sounds like you've ever. I do not believe in taxing American citizens, Lars. Lars, I am completely against American citizens being directly taxed by the government. Correct. All right. All right, taxation is death. I read that Florida's working on any property tax raise. I heard that too. We still have it here. So property tax is a bit of a big deal in Texas. That's where they get us here. I've heard several states. I did hear that actually that they're doing that. Lars, we don't have to tax the U.S. citizens to pay for this. We can have tariffs. We can tax large businesses, right? But the private working class citizens, like working class people, absolutely should not be paying any taxes to the government. We overthrew the British government over this. This is why we have a U.S. to begin with. We literally overthrew the crown over a 3% tax. Do you understand that? That is the whole foundation of this country. Okay. So, and I mean, perfect example. Let's use Texas. Think about emergency relief. Who is the number one most amazing emergency relief in the state of Texas? Is it the federal government or is it a private company? Who is the FEMA of Texas? There's been documentaries done on this. Who? Yeah, HEB. Sean nailed it. HEB. We call them the FEMA of Texas. They provide more relief and faster relief than the federal government does every time there's a disaster. Like, dude, straight up, when we had the no power here, the HEB I shop at had the store open, generators had water, were giving out food. They were giving out food, drinking water, had charging stations for your phones, everything. Right? Coach, you ever got to the point you completely lost you? I've never lost my libido. What you talking about? Government pays for their spending by printing money that, yeah. But did we have a troll in there? I didn't even see anything. Yeah, Sean's right. HEB, man. Literally, private companies that care about their customers do a better job than the government does. I mean, it's a perfect example. HEB, the FEMA of Texas. It's a grocery store. Yet look what they provide. Look how amazingly effective. They outperform the federal government for emergency relief in Texas, the state they're based out of. Why do you think I shop with them? Right? Because of what they do back for the community. Yes, this makes me sound like an evil capitalist. But this is a textbook example, guys. Right? Hey, Charlie, that's a very strange question, man. What? Made another stream, brother. It's a great Saturday so far. I mean, well, it started off a little rough. I woke up to the weather alerts on the phones, like waking me up at 1 a.m, and then the power went out for a few hours. Yeah. But I mean, perfect example. Exactly. Private industry does a better job. Yeah, prices didn't really. Yeah, their prices are still pretty good, you know. But it's a perfect example. Look how well private industry handles it, and they just straight up do it. So if you guys think I'm kidding, Lars, go to right here on YouTube. There are documentaries explaining how they do it, the history of the company, and how they managed to pull this off. As a private grocery store, they dump millions and millions and millions of dollars into this, and they built a whole fleet of emergency relief stuff. Right? They actually have whole vehicles and fleets of vehicles specifically for emergency relief of supplies. And so in my area, the whole Houston area, we didn't have power. God bless Texas. Thank you, bro. Like I got really like right here, dude, the grocery store where I get my groceries from straight up had emergency relief on site. They had generators running. All the HEBs had backup power generators. They still had food. They were selling stuff. And they were outside with charging stations. They had portable shower things. So if people really needed a shower, there were limited amounts of it, but they were giving out food. They were giving out dry goods. They were giving out drinking water, and had charging stations for people to charge all their devices on. And it was the only grocery store open for miles. They were up and running and had an emergency relief crew roll in. Thank you, Lars. I appreciate it, man. So this is a private industry, dude. Like I went up there and got some free water. I got water and dry goods and charged my phone. No, I didn't have to charge my phone. I used the card for that. But no, I didn't do that. But I grabbed a couple stuff and I went and shopped and got in and got my stuff. Now, granted, the lines were long because they were the only place open, but they were making it happen. They have a whole crew even dedicated to extra line work to put line workers out when power goes down in areas. Exactly. Appreciate the super chats, guys. Nathan, appreciate it, man. There we go. Everybody's in on that action. But yeah, I mean, so when we say, do we need taxes for these things? Do we really need taxes? Private industry does a better job than the government does. Same thing with charities. Private charities usually do a better job of stuff than our government does because they don't deal with the red tape and bureaucracy. They're efficient. All right. So, oh, man. Kapow. Who did we kapow? Oh, man. Drop in and hit the like. Happy Saturday. Just appreciate it, Tony. Thank you for coming through. Even if you can't stick around, man, I always appreciate those likes, brother. It helps feed the outreach. Helps feed the outreach. But yeah, so I think we're getting hits in here because I'm not doing as many informatives as I really couldn't. I don't need to do a lot of informatives right now anyways, and here's why. I have like 15,000 of them. I probably have any single fitness, lifting, or nutrition related topic you have. I bet you I have 15 videos up on it. People are like, I don't know, man. What's the difference between the benefits of a conventional versus a sumo deadlift? Let's see if Blaha has done an hour of talks on it. Should we do concurrent or linear periodization? I wonder if Blaha has talked about it. Do we have evidence on sarcoplasmic versus myofibular hypertrophy or not? Let's see if Blaha has done a video on it. And my channel search engine has literally any fitness topic you could possibly come up with. I have 13 years of accumulated material. We can focus on these lives, I think, for a bit. Yep. I mean, San Antonio's got its problems, bros. And which kind of sucks because it's a beautiful city. Right? With the river walk and everything. I haven't been to San Antonio in a really, 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 really long time. Like it's been decades. But I've been there and I've been to the river, and the river walk is beautiful. Now, I went through there, but I didn't visit anything. People say, didn't you go there for the Texas powerlifting meet? Yeah, for the state championship. But it was outside of it. I only dropped in the airport, took an Uber out, and then paid one of the coaches there to give me a ride back. Right? Like I paid him to work me for the day, started chatting. I'm like, look, dude, could you just do my lift offs and everything? And because he had said he lived back in San Antonio, I'm like, so, can I give you $150 for the day? Work me for the day, and can you get me back to the airport in time? He's like, I'm on it, brother. Reasonable firearm questions. I can't go super crazy on it. Just again, they don't like a whole lot of pew talk, but it depends on what you ask, man. Like, my firearm channel's not monetized anymore, but yeah, I made $2,500 off that one video on that channel before. So that video was very well received. I got thousands and thousands of thank yous for that video. For those curious which one I'm talking about, it was my analysis and breakdown of the 32-page FBI handgun ballistic report. We missed the bullet making. Well, it was reloading, wasn't technically bullet making. I think I'm going to go over to 1911s eventually, though. I still carry Glocks, but I want to do 1911s. Yes, I have held the VP9. I've never shot one. I do know someone who has a VP9. Now, I have carried an H&K USP previously. So I've had a USP in 9mm many years ago. I sold it to my dad. H&Ks are phenomenal. I mean, it's German engineering, dude. No, the H&Ks are great. I like my Glocks. I like my Glocks. So I'm a Glock fanboy, but I'm thinking of going over to 1911s eventually, because you guys know how I love the 45, and it's just the 1911 is a gentleman's weapon. And don't get me wrong, I love my plastic fantastics, and I usually EDC a Glock 19. And then I have a 21 as my bedside and door answer piece. And then I have an AR by the bed. I have another AR here in my office, and I have a shotgun hidden in my kitchen. So someone comes in while I'm cooking, they're going to get buckshot. But it's hidden, so you can't find it too easy. So you got to know where it's at. But now I keep a Mossberg 500 in there with double-aught buck. So we yeah, it's like got a shotty by the sink. Video games, I always use a Desert Eagle. Desert Eagle. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Israelis make good stuff, but it's just, um, it's not really a very practical piece. You know what I mean? I get it though. The Hollywood and yeah, it's a big clunky piece of metal, and I wouldn't say that it's. I would really wouldn't carry a Desert Eagle personally. It's just me, But to each their own. To each their own. I get the cool factor, right? I get the cool factor. Yeah. Now, what I was looking at, one that I'm looking at, I kind of like the Kimber Repeat Ice. Drop you a RMR on that. That would be a nice. I'd actually consider that eventually. I do like the stainless and the blue on it. But yeah, if I'm going to do something metal like that, that's not going to be like Glock. If I'm not going to do a plastic fantastic, I do want it in stainless. I'm going to carry it. Sean, because they're class 3. This due to the NFA. The NFA needs to be repealed anyways. Right. Yeah, NFA needs to be repealed. So it's a class 3 weapon. That's why. You got to have a license for it. The person using it has to have the license. You can't even loan it out. Like you have to supervise the person who uses it as you as the owner, or they've got to be added to your trust. Right. I mean, it's not hard. It just takes money and time. Right. Like if you have a clean enough background to own a firearm, which we shouldn't even be doing background checks, but if you can pass the current background checks, you can get a fully automatic weapon. You're going to have to get a tax stamp. You're also going to have to get certain stuff engraved on it. You're going to have to get the tax stamp in that background. And that background could be anywhere from, depending on the year and what's going on, 12 weeks up to a year for them to clear you. It's the same background check that you pass when you buy anything else. Okay. Same background check. But they do all that and then they make you license it. So you can get one, but you got to buy the tax stamp, you got to pay the fees, and then it's heavily regulated. Like I qualify, not a problem. But you got to think. So it's the same thing with any class 3. So short barrel shotguns and rifles, suppressors. Think about how dumb that is. That level of licensing for a hearing protection device. Think about how stupid that is. We literally have federal oversights over a hearing protection device. Everyone, do you guys know that's why suppressors exist, right? Or silencers. They still sound like a gunshot, by the way. Silencers. Yeah, on Hollywood goes pew. No, it goes kapow. Right? They're still pretty loud, especially if it's something supersonic. Right? If you're still doing anything that's above the speed of sound, you got a bullet moving Mach 3. I can assure you, even with a silencer on there, you're still going to hear it a mile away. People a mile away are still going to hear it. It's just going to be less damaging to your eardrums. And it makes a big difference inside your house. Right? So the whole point of a suppressor, like for your home defense, is so maybe you don't deafen your children in the next room when you pop an intruder. So you don't rupture their eardrums. It's kind of the idea. It's a hearing protection device. Why we do them? They're regulated. Think of the stupidity of this. Again, should government do anything? This is the level of stupidity when government gets involved in anything. We're going to treat a hearing protection device under the exact same laws as a fully automatic machine gun. No difference. Same classification. It's a hearing protection device. I mean, again, this is a perfect example of why government should just stay out of things in general. I mean, this is a classic example. All right, guys, I need to hop out of here. I'm getting hungry. All right. I got to get my breakfast going. It's 12:15 or so. I haven't eaten yet. Did that fasted training. I will do an afternoon one of these, but I wanted to hop in and get one. I appreciate all the supers in here. I appreciate all the support. Love you guys. We'll get a bigger live stream this afternoon.